And welcome to this grand debut of Grand Slam Wrestling. I'm Big Paulie coming to you. This very first match that will be shown here on YouTube, covering this federation that I have been running for about 2.5 years. Tonight, it's the main event of the Monarch of the Mat 3 Supercard from Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida. In this all-time great federation, we have the World Heavyweight Champion Farmer Burns taking on Andre the Giant. Andre, who in real life was world champion for 30 seconds. He will be facing Farmer Burns, who many consider the grandmaster of catch-as-catch-can wrestling when wrestling was legitimate back. When did wrestling change into performances? A lot of people think it may have started as early as before World War One, but definitely by the Great Depression. But Martin Burns, known as Farmer Burns, was the guy who taught Frank Gotch everything. Frank Gotch was the first GSW champion when I started this back in 2017. We are in what I call year three. I kind of used that from the Universal Baseball Association. And all the champions have been shooters. The next champion was John Pezic. Then it went back to Frank Gotch, who was stripped of the title. Then it went to Strangler Lewis. And now Farmer Burns has held the title for a year now. This is a culmination of an 8-man tournament featuring the two world champions. There's a junior heavyweight champion, El Santo, and there were four regional champions, the regions being the north, south, east, and west, coming into this tournament. But there are only two regional champions, as I'll explain. In the first round, we had Farmer Burns beating Lou Thez. Lou Thez, not a champion at the moment that this was shot. Lou pinned him after nearly a 50-minute battle. The tournament matches leading up to this final were no disqualification, 1 hour time limit, and if there was a draw, then the winner was determined by a battle royal that happened at the start of the week on a card I called Gold Rush, where the longer you stayed in, well, that determined whether or not you won the draw. If it was a draw, no contest, or something like that, because the matches were no DQ. So Farmer Burns beat Lou Thez. Ric Flair beat El Koenig. Flair came in the Southern champ and El Koenig the Western champ. And after that match, Ric Flair was both the Southern and Western title holder. El Santo, who is the world junior heavyweight champion, lost to Andre the Giant, and of course the junior heavyweight title not at stake because of course Andre is not a junior heavyweight. He won on cuts. Now this Wrestling's Finest, simulates 80s wrestling, and back in the 80s you could lose a match on cuts. That was much more frequent in the scripts those days. So El Santo, the ref noticed a huge gash under his mask. The ref inspected it, and El Santo was not deemed well enough to continue, so Andre advanced after 12 minutes and 48 seconds. The Flair Koenig match went 40 minutes, by the way. Dick Hutton, who was an NWA champion back in the late 50s, was the Northern champ coming in. Sputnik Monroe, who was a Memphis legend, was the Eastern champion. He took on the Grand Wizard as his manager after winning the Eastern title over Ahmed Johnson. And Hutton submitted Monroe to an abdominal stretch at 20 minutes 10 seconds to win the Eastern title, so Hutton at that moment was the Northern and Eastern champion. We had other matches on the card that were not tournament related. We'll go over those real fast. The Nasty Boys were the Eastern Tag Team Championship title holders, but they lost to the Blackjacks in 1722 after Blackjack Lanza pinned Brian Knobbs with a series of knee drops. We had a battle royal to feature. We're changing our rankings to a rankings number system, so I wanted to get some of the people who had tag team action, had tag team matches under their belts in GSW, some singles action. And Lee Wong wound up winning the Battle Royal over a pretty deep field, which included Mr. Saito, Buzz Sawyer, Dick Slater, Jimmy Garvin. So Lee Wong will get a future title shot at the Northern Champion because he came from the North region. So see how that goes for him. Probably not going to go too well. Emma Waldeck and Mae Young are the reigning women's tag team champion title holders. They faced the Japanese duo called the Beauty Pair. That went to a double count out at 8:31. So Waldeck and Young are still those champs. Then we went to the semifinals of the Monarch of the Mat tournament. Farmer Burns upended Ric Flair. Flair will keep his Southern and Western championships 26-55. Burns won on an inside cradle. Andre the Giant defeated Dick Hutton, I should say, to take his Northern and Eastern champs that he just won a few minutes beforehand, or about an hour or so beforehand. So Hutton was only Eastern champion for about an hour. Andre suffered a cut early in the bout, but beat Hutton at 7:24 with a butt splash. Mildred Burke is the reigning women's champion, beat Dump Matsumoto. Burke won by DQ and was injured slightly at 8:13. And again, we use like 80s rules for these matches. So if the referee spotted somebody trying to injure their opponent, then they just stop the match right there and DQ the match to give a DQ win to the person being injured. Then a steel cage match for the World Tag Team titles. Now I should point out that the tag division, no team has been dominant, whereas the World Heavyweight title has been dominated by just a handful of wrestlers. The Road Warriors have now become for the fifth time became the World Tag Team Champions, beating the British Bulldogs in 42 minutes and 14 seconds in a brutal bout. Hawk pinning Davey Boy Smith with a Doomsday device, and then Davey Boy was injured after the bout, and he will be missing out 8 weeks worth of time. So that takes us to our main event, and we will get that started right now. This is one fall, no time limit, no DQ match. Farmer Burns against Andre the Giant. They're both baby faces. They have both met several times in previous bouts, but here in the GSW we kind of run wrestling like a sport, and these two guys got to know which one of them is the best. Burns has beaten Andre several times. Andre has won many championships in GSW, but he's never won the big one, so we're going to see how this goes. Trade hold recommendations we were going to do in front of you. We've already set up the fact that this is a no time limit, no DQ match for Farmer's World Heavyweight Champion. And because Andre has had such a huge size advantage, we're going to set up the moves here, the changing of moves that Wrestling Finest recommends for each wrestler, considering the size advantage and disadvantage that each man has in this match. And of course, Andre has a huge advantage, but because Farmer Burns is such a great wrestler, Burns has little trouble with Andre and can outmaneuver him. Yes, Andre's got bulk, but these two have never met in a no DQ match, though, so Andre may have a bit of an advantage here. As I said, Farmer Burns has been champion of the World Heavyweight Division now for a year, and I have run this game in multiple configurations. We run a 4-circuit federation now. At one point I had 6 circuits, at one point I had 2, at one point I had 1. I've changed it up from time to time. And I am just double checking everything. This is a no time limit bout, as you can see here, unlimited time. We're going to keep going until somebody is pinned, and I will try to go slow enough for you to keep track of all the action. Each man begins with damage and cuts at 0. The more you get cut, the more likely you get pinned. The more damage you suffer, the more likely you get pinned. And here's the bell. Ding! And we're underway. No disqualification for the World Heavyweight title. Farmer Burns and Andre the Giant. Burns tries a neck hold on Andre, and he gets up there and gets it. And it reduces Andre's stamina by 7 points, so he incurs the first damage. You start at 0, and for most of the time you lose points. There are a few occasions where you can gain points, and we'll go through all of this as the match goes on. So we're 18 seconds in. Neither wrestler is sure what to do, so they just simply circle each other, and for a good guy versus good guy match, that seems to make sense. Burns turns the table and makes an expert counter to avoid a chopping move by Andre. Action is happening in a no DQ match, so we go to another set of cards. Numerous punches thrown by Farmer Burns, and Andre has a cut on his nose, blood coming out of his nose, 10 points. He was cut in the semifinal against Dick Hutton, but we will assume that had been patched up for now. 1 minute 10 seconds into the match, Andre was anticipating opponent's move and brilliantly countered the attempt. So, you're going to see a lot of defensive grappling here. Burns so far has only lost 7 points. Andre's lost 32. Andre headbutts Farmer Burns squarely on the jaw. I can imagine Andre doing that. And Farmer loses his first points on stamina. Andre throws the opponent to the ring floor. These guys might be baby faces, but they're going to go at it because the world title's at stake. And Andre stands pat, and Farmer loses 10 more points of stamina. And Farmer just loses 6 more as Andre hip tosses Farmer Burns. A series of body punches by Andre, so Andre's got a good little flurry going here. And we'll get to how wrestlers are pinned a little later. And finally, Farmer Burns slips away, and they are back circling each other again. 2 minutes 36 seconds into the match, Burns is putting. He's got Andre in a hamstring stretch. Don't ask me how he's able to get it on there, but he's getting it on there, and Andre loses 8 points. He's got a slight cut, a bloody nose. And we have come to the first pin attempt of the match. It's on Andre. Now the numbers here, 28-21, are out of 40. So if the first number is less than 40, we go to the 2 count. If that's 20 or less, we go to the 3 count. And if we get to the 3 count, Andre's got very little chance of losing it. So we'll go through the numbers here. 16-15, got to a 2 count, but Andre kicks out. We are 3 minutes 16 seconds into the bout. Farmer going for a specialty move, goes for the spinning toe hold, but Andre, all the battles he's had with Farmer, he knew that was coming. So he slips out of it. Chop to the forehead by Andre, and Farmer loses another 6 points worth of damage. There are strategy cards that are employed in this match, but I let the computer, what they call in wrestling's finest, VOG, named after Tommy Vogel, do all the action, so I could just view the match and not worry about it. A reduction of stamina by 6 points, and it's about even at this point. Andre tries to kick, but Farmer Burns gets out of the way. Neck twist by Farmer Burns onto Andre, and Andre, being a slow stationary target, has to sit through this hold, and he loses 7 points of stamina. Chicken wing by Farmer, but Andre slips out of that. Like I said, these two have had many battles, but Farmer has won every one of them. These are the two most dominant men in GSW. Farmer, long-time world champion. If he wins tonight, then he will have completed a year as world champ, which is the longest world championship reign in GSW. Andre the Giant looking to win his first world title, even though he's won several regional titles, winning 2 tonight. Worst comes to worst, he will come out of tonight both the Northern and Eastern champ. He'll have to defend titles in both territories every week until somebody else holds them. Now we got a pin attempt on Farmer Burns, but it's not going to go anywhere. 8-21, and you don't even get to the 3 count because right now Farmer Burns is 12-10-0 on being pinned. You get really very rare occasion to get Farmer in a even get a pin chance on him. He's that good. He falling elbow drop on Andre set up that pin chance. Body slam by Andre on the Farmer. And evens up the match a little bit. We're even on damage at 53 all now. Andre going for throwing the rule book out the window, was trying to choke a Farmer Burns. You saw him doing that when he was a heel. Should also point out that many wrestlers have face cards and heel cards. So, to represent those points in their careers where they were either a babyface or either a heel. Like Andre was a heel late in his WWF run in the late 80s, back when he would face Hulk Hogan all the time. For this, he's a babyface and Farmer's a babyface. Submission move, but Andre counters it. 550 into the match now. Andre fish hooks his mouth. Brown for Farmer Burns and pulls away. So Andre headbutts Burns on the side of the head. Ooh, that's going to be a sharp blow to the temple, and that reduces his stamina by 7 points. And now Farmer Burns has now fallen behind Andre on stamina. Especially move bear hug, but Farmer Burns was able to slip out, being smaller and weighing about 300 pounds less. Dandy counter. Farmer Burns went for an old arm hold, but Andre slipped away from that. So a lot of defense right now, but both men will get softened up and they'll be able to apply their holds. Snug headlock by Andre onto Farmer, and again, that's more damage Farmer has taken. Pin attempt here by Andre, but we'll run it through. It's not going to go because it's 12-10-0. If you got no chance of pinning Farmer Burns, then there's no miracle. He just won't get pinned on the 3 count. Series of forearms by Andre. Stomp to the back. Andre trying to wear Farmer down with a series of blows. Wrestlers end up in the ropes, and frustrations boil over a little bit as some extra pushing and shoving occurs. Burns well prepared for a power move by Andre, which was legal. Doesn't mention what it was. Now we have a series of, series of punches to the forehead, it looks like. And a slight pin chance. The third, it had to be a 1 out of 40 to get it, but he doesn't get it. 8:42 into the match, Andre uses his nails to rake Farmer Burns' face. Ouch! And that's 5 yards. I'm thinking I'm playing Action PC. I don't think so. This is wrestling. And that's reduced stamina by 5. Burns places a knee in Andre's back and pulls the neck back, grabbing the chin, and that reduces his stamina by 7. But Burns is a little behind, but that's no cause for alarm this early in the bout. 9:13 into the match. Andre tried to put a maneuver on him, but Burns uses his speed to escape, which could wear Andre down a little bit. Farmer Burns becomes frustrated, which allows Andre to take control. Auto control loss. Action happening in the no DQ match. Numerous punches thrown by Andre, and it reduces Farmer Burns' stamina again. So Andre, who when Vince McMahon called him winning the world title, could Lady Luck be with Andre today? Andre the Giant ties his opponent's head up in the ring ropes and begins to choke his opponent. Well, that's kind of heelish there, Andre. That reduces Farmer's stamina by 25, so now Andre with a huge stamina advantage. Specialty move, big boot, but Burns was there to counter it. Burns now really has Andre locked up in a tight shoulder lock, and that's 7 points off for Andre. Burns jumps from the ropes, delivers a knee drop, good for 9 points stamina lost to Andre. So Burns coming back a little bit. Catches opponent in a sleeper hold, but this will not, we'll go through the numbers, but that's not going to get it done. More than 11 minutes now gone by. Full Nelson roll. Oh, this could be it. Nope. Pinning combination there, and Andre escapes. And that was a very good pin chance there. And you can see now Andre's getting tired. His pin rating is 40-45, which means he'll most definitely get to a 3 count. So Andre getting worn down early. Burns appears confused, and Andre the Giant seizes on this and takes control. Remember, these guys wrestled twice already in this card, so they're going to get winded quickly, I would think. Action happening, and I notice, and Andre has cut more. as Burns goes postal on him, and Andre's got a slight cut over the eye. Add that to the 10 points he's already lost on a cut. Things are going bad to worse for Andre, and he is now at 30 cuts. 90 will be the loss of a match. If he gets to minus 90 cuts, the match is automatically stopped and awarded to the opponent. The title cannot change, by the way, on a cut. For GSW rules. A series of forearms on the Andre. This could be it. And it is it. And there you go, folks. Farmer Burns retains his championship in 13 minutes and 30 seconds. We didn't expect it to be that quick a battle, but Andre doesn't seem to have any luck facing Farmer Burns, and that has continued here tonight in this Monarch of the Mat final. I should point out that Farmer Burns won the second Monarch of the Mat championship, and Andre won the first, and now Farmer Burns is now a two-time Monarch of the Mat champ, winning this tournament here tonight. And any chicanery going on after the bout? Nope. That's your bout. Farmer Burns, you're still your world heavyweight champion in 13 minutes and 30 seconds. He defeats Andre. And Andre will walk away with the Northern and Eastern Regional Championships, though, and will be defending them next week. So I hope you enjoyed this very brief look at wrestling's finest. A great game. I don't think my replay did it justice, but hope you all enjoyed it. And we're going to do this every week, at least once a week. We're going to bring you a prominent match. I know Farmer Burns will be heading to the West region for a title defense. So we'll look forward to that next week, and we'll catch you then. Bye-bye for now, everybody.